Dear friends, welcome to our Srini YouTube channel. This is Srinivasan. I'd like to present you a small presentation on do's and don'ts in the reinforcement part 2 in continuation with the yesterday presentation. As I likely to cover the entire subject in detail, this presentation might go for a bit longer. Have a patience and watch till the end so that you can learn what are the things to be done in the reinforcement and not to be done in the reinforcement. Splice couplers. This is the splice couplers generally used for a higher diameter of bars. Okay. Lap splicers versus mechanical couplers. Lap splicers double the number of bars, leading to rebar congestion, which can restrict the flows of larger aggregates. This is what I mean to say lap splicers. Mechanical couplers reduce rebar congestion and improve concreting consolidation. So you can see when I put a coupler over here, the number of bars like this will be getting reduced, so that you will have a more space to the aggregate. Lap splicers versus mechanical splicers. Lap splicers additional rebar in the lap zone. You can see that here the images which will clear you. When you use the mechanical splicers, ideal balance of concreting, so which will reduce the congestion in the right. Bar break guarantee test for a coupler joint. This is the methodology which you can see it in a laboratory, how to do the bar break methodology of the things joint. Acceptance criteria. The following shall constitute the acceptance standard of the splice joint. The tensile strength of the splice joint shall be more than the rebars of Fe415. The spliced Bartek coupler joint should not fall in tension. Test at a coupler location. Check at site. Thread dimension check with a go and a no go gauges. Tensile strength check 1 sample per 1000 joints. You see that here the coupler joints has been fixed and etc. Okay, you can have a rough idea how it has been the things work around. Welding of reinforcement. Footing reinforcement. Check foundation rebars have 90% bent upwards at a foundation ends as per the drawings. Check the bottom column bars bent minimum 300 mm or 24 dia, whichever is more are as per the drawing. Check column main bars in plumb tied by stirrups inside of footing, that is at the rate of 8 to 300 center to center, minimum 3 numbers are as per the drawing. Butt welding of the reinforcement. Butt weld cut pieces of reinforcement steel beyond economical break even length by cutting V groove and welding by a qualified welder, especially for a 20 mm dia and above. Test welded joints to make sure the joint is as stronger than parent bar, irrespective whether such testing is insisted by clients or not. Use butt weld bars not more than 20% in a given cross section. See, this is the typical footing details. You can see it. The length of the bent bars will be 300 mm or 24 dia, whichever is a greater. This is the 50 mm cover from the PCC to the reinforcement. Depth of the foundation greater than 500 mm. This is the area which you have to check it as the lap length. Okay. Use minimum 8 dia, 3 numbers for a link are as specified by the drawing. The PCC thickness should be minimum 75 mm thickness. Reinforcement data. Footing reinforcement. This is the methodology of footing reinforcement, how it is to be tied and everything. Column reinforcement. Check column bars joggle. Maximum slope is 1:6. Column offset less than 75 mm, one or two sides. Main bars offset bent. If cranking not within the beam, provide 3 number ties. Center 8 dia, that is 2 extra plus 1 regular at a crank joint. Column fixing details. Fixings to be removed before erecting a gauge above. This is what I am saying it. When you are kinking it out, it is shaft should be 1:6 maximum. The cover should be 75 mm. Spacing whenever lower bar cranked in position inside the upper bar when relative displacement of column faces less than 75 mm. Splice with lower bars cranked into position inside upper bars, immediate force. You can see extra ties at the point of a bend. Now the shape you are going to make it of 1:6 maximum. This should be 75 mm minimum. Fixing ties to be removed before erecting a cage above. See the slope, what I mean to say, 1:6. Splice then upper bar cranked position inside the lower bars. Splicing when lower bar cranked into position inside the upper bars with stepping of columns from the outside. Stirrups in beams and columns junction, that is the crank should be slope is maximum 1:6. You just be careful. Column reinforcement. Check the dowels 2 LD for bars requiring change in diameter for an next floor. Check that column offset greater than 75 mm, one or two sides. Bars in columns not extending stopped at floor, inverted L and dowels are provided. See here fixing ties, this is a 75 mm cover, this is a column starter where we are going to it. Okay, now you understand how the column reinforcement has to be. At a roof level column bar inside a slab, whenever you are going to a roof level, bend the column bars like this. Termination of the column bar inside the slab. Okay, you know this bars goes and bend it like here. These vertical bars goes and bend it here. This is the lap length whenever you say it. Okay. Stirrups, the things to be avoided. Lap length of less than 8 dia. This is not acceptable at all. Loose column links. These two is not acceptable. These column links has to be tied properly. Not to do. Beam rebars not through the columns. Here you can see the beam rebars is not inside the column, it is protruding outside. These rebars has to go inside the columns. Local bend in column bars provided column, sudden bend in column bars. See, this is not at all acceptable. Okay. See, this is a shabby job. Please do not do such a job. Column reinforcement. Check spacing of stirrups, diameter, shape as per drawing. End anchorage 8 dia for 90 degree and 6 dia for 135 degree. For heavy columns fabricated in pots, extra 12 dia open ties at double spacing. Check column bars projecting minimum 50 LD above slab are as per drawing with minimum 2 to 3 fixing ties. Temporary stirrups before casting the slab. Ties removed for erecting next. End anchorage for 135 degree bend bar. By bending ring into 135 degree, net saving per ring as 16 dia. See, this is the way the 135 degree bar has to be bent. Okay. End anchorage dia for 90 degree bend in stirrups. Whenever you are bending a 90 degree, this bend length has to go minimum 8 dia. This means I am saying from here to here 8 dia, from here to here 8 dia of the bar. Slab beam reinforcement. Check lag length steel in beams. Slab is 30 dia are as per drawing. see this lap length, the 40 dia. Reinforcement bars, lap length is a 40 dia. Rebars with different diameters provide the lap length in respect to the lower dia of the bar. If this is the lower dia of the bar, the lap length is to be based on this, not on this. Stirrup hanger bars stop short of a column face. Primary beam which has been going. Bottom bars stop short of a column face. Bottom bars stop short of column face. This is a secondary beam. Top bars, primary bars placed above the secondary beam. Column bars straight through the junction. This will give you images of how can you understand the main beam and the supplementary beam and the column of it is going in between the two beams. See, stirrups, beams, column junction. Whenever there is a beam stirrups in the column junction, how it is to be fixed has been very clearly mentioned. Whenever you are reducing the column bars, slab should not be 1:6 maximum. 75 mm is a starter. Stirrups through the beam column junction. See, you have to provide a beam column junction as stirrups. Fixing ties. This is the fixing ties to be removed before erecting cage over. Next, slab beam reinforcement and conduit laying. Slab beam reinforcement. Slab beam reinforcement. Check that beam bars are modified for electrical downtake conduits with adequate cover to the conduits. Between two electrical conduits, 25 mm gap shall be given. Electric conduits incorrectly placed. This is not the way electrical conduit has to be fixed, because as there is no gap between these two electrical conduits, concreting will not pass through, which will create a honeycombs and everything. Ensure that between the two conduits you will have a minimum 25 mm space so that the concreting can pass through. Slab beam reinforcement. Check that sunk toilet beam with downtakes modified, suspended and everything. See, this is not acceptable to me at all. Beam damage for making holes for drainage lines. See, this is, don't do this. Don't break the beam lines for making holes and everything. Provide the sleeves before doing the concreting of the beams. Check position of lap in continuous beams. Bottoms bar over immediate support. Top bars extreme middle third are as per drawing. Position of laps. Position of the laps in continuous beams. Top reinforcement lap at extreme middle end as shown here. Bottom reinforcement lap at center of the immediate support. This is what I mean to say. This is a clear span. This is what we call as intermediate support, and this is the end support. Slab beam reinforcement. Main steel secondary beams resting on the main beams of a primary beams. Secondary beam main bars resting on primary beam main bars. You can see here secondary beams bars are resting on the main beam. You can see that very clearly, it has been tied at the site. Slab. Check that main beams bar passing through the column main bar as per the things. Here you can see the beam bars has been not passing through the column, which is incorrect. These main bars has to go through inside the column. Slab beam reinforcement. Check that minimum horizontal spacing between the bars, maximum diameter of the bar. That is 5 mm more than the maximum size of the aggregate, so that the concreting. Check that minimum vertical spacing pin bars for 2 or more rows of bars in line is maximum of maximum diameter of the bar or 15 mm or 0.67 x maximum size of the aggregate. You see the pin how it has been provided here, so that these bars has not touch each other, so that the concreting can be passed through. This is what I call the pin bars. Check spacing of the stirrups, diameter shape as per joint. End anchorage 80 for 90-degree bend and 60 for a 135-degree bend. See, this is what I call as a 135-degree bend. This is I called as a 90-degree bend. Here you can see 8 dia and this is 6 dia. Okay. Chairs for slabs. Chairs shall be designed to take manual and mechanical loads during slab casting. Chair is meant to maintain spacing between the two meshes of the slab top and bottom. Chair shall not be touching to shuttering or a shithering. Wrong practice for placing a chairs on shuttering. Never ever do like this. Extra reinforcement has to be placed near the rectangular opening. You can see this is the extra bars have been provided to the rectangular opening so that these openings will not crack in the shear. Extra reinforcement circular opening. Again in the circular openings you have to put 80 dia of the bar or the LD. Okay. So it will prevent a shear crack. Vertical section of the walls. Horizontal bars tied to vertical. Clips connecting to the two layers of the vertical reinforcement. Clips connecting to the two layers of the vertical reinforcement is like this. Wall thickness 1 meter. Okay. Common steel detailing. Cantilever beam detailing. This is incorrect. Where the beam bar ends cut here. No, this is not the way. It should be like this. Okay. Closed stirrups has to be tied here and it has to be come down. Non-pessimistic beam detailing. See, this is incorrect again. Here you have to have a close ties to bend the bars, which is the correct position of doing. Grid beam detailing. This is incorrect. Wherever it has been cut into end, whereas in the close range it should be 1.5 dia and this should be 1.5 dia. There should be a closed stirrups. There should be a hanger bars. Okay. Details of main and secondary beam. This is a secondary beam. This is a main beam. This is incorrect. What you have to do it in a secondary beam bars? This anchor bars has to be provided with a 15 dia. This is a close range bar. This is a methodology of doing a correct methodology. Continuous beam detailing. This is incorrect wherever you are cutting these things, etc., etc. See the correct methodology. The main bars has to go through depth. These bend bars has been like this. Whenever you add an extra bars, it will be like this. These bottom bars has to go end to end. Check this. Okay. Cantilever beam projecting for column. This is incorrect wherein you cut your reinforcement here itself. This is not acceptable. This is to be come down further down. This is a LD. This is the correct methodology of working a cantilever reinforcement. Sloping beam. This is incorrect. The correct methodology is to be this bar has to go and bent up and cut here. These bars goes and cut up here, so that it will have a disconnectivity. This is totally incorrect and which is not acceptable. Cantilever beam without a point load. This is incorrect here. You can see the number of bars, how it has been cut down and make it as correct. Extra ties has been provided here. Reduction column from both the sides. This is not a correct way of methodology. You are cranking it from the beam. Whereas it has to start from the below the column and come down like this and go up like this. Termination of the column bars inside the beam. This is not a correct way of terminating it. It has to be terminated like this, so that it has been given a point load. Staircase weight slab. If you taken these bars like this, it is totally incorrect. The bottom bar has to go and bent up at the top. The bottom bar has to go and bent up in the top of these things. This is the methodology of correcting the fixing the staircase weight slab details. Column detailing practices has been given like this. Here everything has been put through in a neat figure. Reconciliation of the steel. Steel being the high value item of the project, it needs to be reconciled monthly by considering the following factor: scrap measurement, billable quantity, stock out of cut beam salient yard, transfer to other sites, consumption again ancillary works, stock available in stockyard, invisible wastages, steel saved from cutting and bending allowances, theft documents if any. Safety measures by hazard identification. Safety measures for the following hazards to be taken care of on priority: cut crush injury, toppling of a crane, failure of a wire rope, hit by truck or trailer, poor lighting, improper earthing of machineries, fall of material to the person, overspeed of vehicles, hit by a projected rods, fall of a person due to proper housekeeping I mean to say. Thank you for watching this presentation. Kindly subscribe, like and share, which will motivate me for a further good presentation. In case of any queries, do not hesitate to write to me. The response shall be earliest. Modification of this presentation courtesy to Mr. Dhyan Deshmukh of Civil Forum. You can contact me at civilconclave@gmail.com or at my Telegram group Ask Srini Telegram group. The link is as follows. Thank you for watching this presentation. Kindly subscribe, which will motivate me for a further good presentation. Thank you once again.